All right, you're welcome into the locker room on Christmas Eve. Yes, indeed, it's a Wednesday, hump of the week Wednesday. Here on Smooth 98.1, you know the Smooth Breakfast is in full flow, and it's that time to talk about what's been going on in the world of sports. Welcome into the show. My name is Ayokunmi Kekirieko, and it has been a very interesting couple of days of sporting action. The AFCON is in full flow. We'll be talking about that, and of course, the Super Eagles, and so much more. But you know that I will not begin this conversation without introducing the one and only joining me in the locker room to give you analysis, share some banter, and a lot of laughs as well. The one and only Tega Supreme. Tega, good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Up Super Eagles. Okay,
Yes,
I had
so
to say that. So you know how it is with the Super Eagles and the expectations by the Nigerian public.
mm,
But like I've said before, it is when the Super Eagles you're not expecting anything from the Super Eagles that they usually turn up. So I'm hoping that that repeats itself at this tournament. But yes, great game it was yesterday. We'll touch on all that. We'll also talk about set piece FC conceding from a set piece. Like, how, you understand? It's something. How do you not protect yourself if it's the way you cause damage? You should be aware of how to defend set pieces. We'll talk about that. Um, what else happened? Then some people have given themselves sense. They have decided that look, if I stay here, I will not play. So they have decided to
mm,
go to France. All
mm.
of that and more coming up inside the locker room. But before we do any talking, Ayokumi, tell us how we can be a part of the locker room today.
All right, come one, come all, join us in the locker room, and especially the fans of the Super Eagles. We want to hear from all of you today. Send those messages on the number 0911 999 That's 0911 999 Also join us on YouTube, the live stream where a lot of fun things happen behind the scenes. Believe me when I say that. Smooth 981 FM Lagos, Smooth 981 FM Lagos, and leave all your comments. We'll get to them. Believe me, believe me. All right, let's begin this journey talking about AFCON because that is what it's all about at this time. Nigeria began its 2025 Africa Cup of Nations with a 2-1 victory over Tanzania at the Fez Stadium out there in Fez in Morocco on Tuesday, courtesy of goals from Semi Ajayi and Ademola Lukman.
Yes, the winter AFCON.
Abi, the
eight,
rain was
I'm
pounding
telling you,
down.
8 degrees. Do you know you put a Nigerian in 8 degrees, they are just not feeling it at all. But that's where our Europe diaspora experience comes in. But it was a good game. The thing is, Nigeria not yet clinical. However, they created those chances. You could tell that the boys were determined to prove something, and sometimes that's all the Super Eagles fans need. It's just let's see the hunger, let's see the urgency. And against DR Congo in the World Cup playoffs, it wasn't there. They were second
Mm,
in hunger, second in urgency, second to every ball. It was just a questionable performance. But yesterday, you could tell, even when they conceded the goal and the game was 1-1, you could tell that they really wanted to do something and they kept pushing. And Ademola Lookman's goal was
yeah.
brilliant. So maybe he will use the AFCON to get back into form. That would be great for Nigeria. But able to score that goal. In fact, they could have gotten a third um, to put a similar result to Nigeria Tanzania in 1980. But they got the 2-1 win. And at this stage in the African Cup of Nations, it's not really about playing great football. If you can, yes, but it's not really about playing great football. It's really just getting the results and coming out of the group. Um, so they did the job yesterday. I mean, when you watch the match, you still see that the midfield was struggling a little bit. We need some mobility there. So I think Eric Shell substitution, especially from the 70th minute, should start changing. His tactical changes in the 70th minute will be important if Nigeria is going to go far. But yes, all in all, good game by Nigeria. Good game.
Good game by Nigeria. Ademola Lookman, I mean, I think he enjoys scoring at the AFCON. I think he scored 2 or 3 goals at the last AFCON. He's opened up his account with a goal in this one. And hey,
Yeah.
what a great goal that
And
actually
and, and
was.
Osimhen has not started scoring yet, so we wait and see how this pans out.
Fingers are crossed that he opens his account as well. He needs those goals, really. He really does need those goals. All right, from the Super Eagles, let's talk about Egypt's Mohamed Salah. He became the first Egyptian player to score in 5 consecutive editions of the AFCON with his late strike in a 2-1 win over Zimbabwe on Monday.
Take that, Jamie Carragher. Take that. But yes, he would like to add the AFCON trophy, not just individual achievements. But it was a tough game. Again, like I say, for tournaments, especially in the first match, everybody has an advantage. You know, the underdogs have an advantage. So far, it's been a struggle. When Egypt conceded early, everybody was just it just against the run of play, and they conceded a goal, and then they started fighting back. Mamouche had ample opportunity to have scored a hat trick on the day. He didn't show any clinical finishes. He did manage to get a goal, but I think it was very important for Egypt, for Mo Salah, and for Liverpool. Shockingly,
Mm.
when Mo Salah scored the goal, because it was his typical goal, cut in, shoot, almost like I haven't lost it. I'm not out of form. Um, so it was important for them that he came into the fore. It's going to be a tough AFCON. You know, there are minnows in football, and you will beat them, but you will sweat before you beat them. No team, yes, no team. Even Tunisia yesterday that won their match by 3 goals to nil. No team has had it easy.
You've had to work to get your three
You've had
points.
to work to get your 3 points. Yes.
Mm. Egypt, definitely. And I mean, this scored in like the 91st minute, so it wasn't, they could have drawn the match very, very easily. So,
Very
AFCON
easily.
AFCON has started on a really, really interesting note. Let's talk about another North African team here, and specifically Algeria captain Riyad Mahrez, who is confident that his side can make up for poor showings at the last 2 editions of the Nations Cup as the 2019 champions prepare to begin their campaign in Morocco today.
Yeah, so after they won the title in 2019, um, they looked a very solid team. You know, the way they won the AFCON, the way they played, the players they had, the team they had, it was brilliant. Only for them to crash out in the group stage at the next AFCON. So people have actually said that AFCON mathematics is different from normal football math. That you can yes, that you can come to AFCON like a star and be beaten like an amateur. That's the AFCON story. Almost like you know, regardless of what your resume is, when you come to AFCON, you have to build your resume again. So
Mm.
they haven't had a good time, but they have a good team and good name players. So they're playing today against Sudan, and it is important they start the tournament on the right foot. Like I said, teams have made it hard to beat them. Some teams just sit back and say you will not score. And so you have to navigate your way to put the ball in the back of the net. But it's important to Algeria that after poor showings at the last 2 tournaments,
Yeah.
they start on a good foot and they win. Today, in fact, today they have some interesting matches. Cameroon, Gabon.
Aha. That should be a
Aha.
blockbuster.
Do you understand? So you know, you watch AFCON, and AFCON is taking over the place. So yesterday I was talking to somebody about it. I said Arsenal Crystal Palace is today, but we are all talking about AFCON. You must respect us by force.
By force, by fire. You don't really have much of a
So
choice.
yeah, so interesting fixtures today. Cameroon, Gabon, Algeria, Sudan. Let's see how the big boys have somehow managed to navigate their way through. Senegal won by 3 goals to nil. Nicholas Jackson scored. Chelsea fans, are you hearing? He scored 2 goals. Nicholas
Tega,
Jackson. Yeah,
talking about
continue.
that Senegal game, I mean, the interesting part of it for me was the fact that the Botswana goalkeeper was more or less the man of the match because 14 saves in that game.
I'm telling you, and he still
Hey,
chopped three.
hmm,
Like I said, most of the underdogs are just sitting there and saying, you want to take 3 points, no problem. You have to sweat to take these 3 points. So the results may deceive you about the match if you didn't watch the match. you say 3-0. Oh, it was an easy day for Senegal. No, the goalkeeper frustrated their life
Hmm.
in between goals. So interesting one. So AFCON has started on a good note. Let's see how it ends.
Let's see how it ends. So many more games to come. We definitely are here for it. All right, let's leave the AFCON and head into Europe. And let's talk about Arsenal because you alluded to this game earlier on. Let's talk about Arsenal. And Kepa Arrizabalaga was the hero as he saved the decisive penalty from Maxence Lacroix to help Arsenal beat Crystal Palace in the shootout and progress to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup in a game packed with late drama. What happened, Tega?
Yes, so Lacroix had a very bad day. Is all I can say. Because the goal Arsenal scored to go ahead, it was Lacroix that scored it. It was a
Ah,
Lacroix own goal. So Arsenal didn't score a goal on the day. Let's be honest. And these days, Arsenal's 12th man is own goal. Because remember the
mm.
match they won by 2-1. They didn't score a single goal inside.
Against Wolves,
So
yeah.
against Wolves, yes. So you look at the team. Arsenal had chance after chance. Again, the goalkeeper Benitez was on point. Yes, there were some shots that came directly at him, but ultimately he pulled out some Superman saves to be able to keep Crystal Palace in the game for that long. And then Arsenal they go ahead and there's 9 minutes of added time and they concede from a set piece. Let me tell you why that set piece goal offended me. It's not just that it shifted my sleep time until later. It was the fact that you are a set piece team. The one thing you must know how to do is defend against set pieces. The
Mm.
first ball that came into the box, Crystal Palace won it. You must make sure that you are in the position to get the second ball. But Crystal Palace nodded the ball down, and McGahey was the one with the foot on the ball. And it was how free McGahey was in the 18-yard box that offended me. And so, yes, Arsenal have wumbled and fumbled their way into the quarterfinals into the semifinals where they faced Chelsea. But when you look at the way they conceded that goal, I think the set piece coach should work overtime over Christmas and Boxing Day to make sure that they do better. Because McGahey was so free in the 18-yard box,
Mm.
equalized, and then the game was guaranteed of penalties. And brilliant penalties, I must add. Because think about it, Arsenal scored 8 straight penalties. Crystal Palace scored 7 straight penalties. So at some point, you didn't know where the shootout was going. But ultimately, Lekwa and his bad day, he just had to be the one that Arita Balaga saved his penalty. So tough one for Lekwa, tough one for Crystal Palace, but they did a fantastic job up until Lekwa's
Mm.
misfortune caught up with them.
That's right. And the Carabao Cup semi-finals are set. Newcastle against Man City and a London derby, Chelsea against Arsenal's two
Against
legs. So it'll
Arsenal.
be interesting.
It's been interesting to
Alrighty.
see. So the first leg is at Stamford Bridge. So
That's
let's see
correct.
how that goes. Yes.
Let's see how it goes. All right, let's take a break. When we come back in, we shall continue talking about what's going on in Europe. And we'll be talking about the next Pele, who is supposed to go on loan to Lyon to further his career. Talking about Endrick, that and so much more on the other side. This is the Locker Room on Smooth 98.1.
You're very rude. You're very rude. He's in our next Pele going on to Leon. But it's true. He has given himself brain.
Because he's not with that team as it is, he's not getting a game.
He's not.
He didn't
Especially the fact
he,
that they're actually struggling to keep up with Barcelona. It's not the time for Alonso to be experimenting.
he didn't ask Adagula what happened to him.
Exactly. Adagula sat till his change came.
Uh,
He sat like Job until
uh,
his change came.
and there's a
So
World Cup next year that he would love to
this
be part of.
exactly, and I think that's what is informing most players now. So you just see some crazy moves. Everybody wants to play in the World Cup,
Everybody wants to go to Yankee.
apart from the Super Eagles of Nigeria. They want to use ineligibility and get to the World Cup.
I mean, that game yesterday, it wasn't the best game, but I admire the fact that after going behind, they were able to almost immediately
Yeah,
just
I'm telling
get back
you,
in front. Because normally
it
you'd have
was the
expected Tanzania will score
it,
again.
yes, it was the hunger. So that's what people have been saying. That you see, I'm not as much questioning the talent of the Super Eagles as I'm questioning their urgency. It's almost as if they don't fight enough sometimes. Like you should be able to say, I'm the Super Eagles of Nigeria. I shouldn't be losing this match.
Mm.
But sometimes they just do the barest minimum, get a draw, go to the locker room and say, we too, we are sad about it. So my friend, shut your mouth.
And getting draws in games that they have no business drawing.
Do you understand? Do you understand? How do you draw Lesotho in Nigeria? Are you what manner
Huh?
of ego is that?
Huh? Those qualifiers still vex me. Five draws. Five out of
That those,
eight
those
matches.
see this World Cup is vexing. There's nothing. I don't if they even if they win this AFCON, it will not make up for missing out on the World Cup. For me, oh, I don't care what people say.
Mm.
For me, even if they win this AFCON, it won't make up for me. Oh, my head is pounding.
Bele, don't worry. We'll soon be done and you can get some rest that you definitely need. Okay.
So crazy. All right, I'll be back.
Yeah, we're back. We're back in. Welcome back into the locker room on a Wednesday morning, a Christmas Eve Wednesday morning here on Smooth 98.1. 33 minutes past 8 a.m. We're having a ball, most definitely. My name is Ayokunmi Kekirieko, and the one and only Tega Supreme is in here as well. We are doing what I like to call supreme justice to what's been going on in the world of sports, and it's football galore today. The AFCON is in full swing, people. That is what we've been talking about up until this point. You can join us on the conversation, share your thoughts and perspectives and your opinions as well. We love to hear from you always. The WhatsApp number is 0911 990 981. 0911 990 981. That is the WhatsApp number. Join us on YouTube as well. That is for lovers of the audio visual. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Please leave your comments there. We love to read from you. I can see a couple of comments there already. We'll get to them in a moment. Let us talk about, like I said before, the next Pele. Well, Real Madrid and Brazil forward Endrick has agreed to join French side Lyon on loan until the end of the season. Check out my guy said, if I don't leave, I will not play ball.
Exactly. If I don't leave, not only will I not play ball, but I will not even go to the World Cup. And everybody is fighting for 2026 shit.
Mm,
Everybody was Super Eagles. All right. Everybody else wants to play at the World Cup, and especially if your team has qualified, then now it's a question of would I get to play at the World Cup? How many minutes? And for Hendrick, you look, I was saying it. Real Madrid are in a tough spot now, and Alonso cannot afford to experiment. He's still trying to sort out what his best starting 11 is. He's still trying to sort out what formation is his best 11. Um, and he's kind of found a mathematics that doesn't include Hendrick. And so
mm.
if Hendrick is going to fulfill his potential, because I remember when they were talking about this guy, rockstar this, rockstar that, 16-year-old rockstar. The only thing that is rockstar about him is his hair. His permed hair.
Rest of
because he
Elvis.
Yes, because he hasn't shown any rock stars so far, and he hasn't caught the bright lights on the pitch, and so he's given himself ultimately a good opportunity. Now he's decided to go to Leon. Good for him. He chose a good team, a team that would need his services, and so he'll get more minutes to play. What he needs to do now is make sure that he plays so well in France. They hear about him in Spain.
Mm, mm, mm.
Do you understand? It's like what Mason Greenwood is doing. Mason Greenwood is playing so well for Marseille. People are now asking Thomas Tuchel, "Are you not going to call him back?" Those are I mean, I don't think Mason Greenwood is going to play because his issues were not of a footballing nature. But he's played so well. He's been in such great form that he has started a conversation. And so that's what Hendrik is supposed to do now that he's gone to Lyon. He will obviously get more minutes. He has to make sure that he plays very well so that by the time he's coming back to Real Madrid, Alonso will be looking for a spot for him to play.
Mm.
So good. If you ask me, good decision that he's gone out on loan. Very. People say, "Oh, sit back and fight for your shirt." Sometimes the shirt is not going to come, and
There's no
World
shirt
Cup is
available
next
to
year.
fight for,
There's no
Seth.
shirt available. So just move clubs, perform very well. I mean, think about it. 37 games matches he has played in, with all the matches that that they play in Europe.
That's not good enough.
Do you understand? And most of them are not starts. So he comes
Exactly.
in.
Cameo
Yeah. So
appearances here and there.
yeah, so I think he should just he made the right decision to go and play in another club. Now what he needs to do is make sure that he plays excellently well.
Mm. Well, I wish him all the best, as he's still a very young lad. So let's hope that this move is one that works out for him. All right, let's get back to the Premier League, where Tottenham manager Thomas Frank has hit back at Arne Slot after the Liverpool boss criticized Mickey van de Ven for a reckless tackle that left Alexander Isak with a broken leg.
Yeah, so remember when Isak limped off during the Tottenham game? By the way, Isak can't seem to catch a break. I don't know who in Newcastle has a praying grandmother, but people should forgive him. Because he hasn't been able to catch a break. And then to make matters worse, he's now broken a leg that will keep him out for a couple of months. And that's just so tough. He was just getting, according to Ancelotti, he was just getting back into the rhythm, and now this injury. So it's a tough one. And then Ancelotti said that, if you played that tackle 10 times, there will still be an injury to the opposing player. And then Thomas Frank was like, he's a defender. He's not supposed to let people just walk in and score goals. Ah, true, but there's also reckless tackle. That's why they have red cards in the game of football. I think Van de Ven, that was a serious injury, but you can't give a red card. You can't show a red card for consequence. You have to show a red card
Mm,
for action. Mm. But it was a tough one, and Isak is going to be tough for Isak. The good news for Liverpool is that he hasn't even become an integral part of the Liverpool squad, so they can afford to do without him. The tough part for them, though, is that they've lost Musala to the AFCON,
exactly.
and
So at the
and
moment, they are
exactly,
two men short.
exactly. So they don't know how when he's going to come back, how deep into the tournament Egypt is going to play. So it would have been good to have Isak now that Musala is gone. But this just opens or paves the way for Chiesa to get more minutes. You know how they
Exactly.
say it? One man's misfortune is another man's blessings.
Right. And there's been so much talk about why Chiesa hasn't been getting enough game time because
Exactly. And
he's
so
performed
without
relatively
Isak,
well, you know?
yeah. So without Isak, without Musala, maybe, just maybe, Chiesa will get more minutes.
Well, let us see if Arne Slot will decide to make those decisions. At the end of the day, he's when they're paying the money, it's not me. All right. Let's talk about Nottingham Forest. Their manager, Sean Dyche, said that he will not be weighing his players when they return after Christmas, unlike his next opponents, Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola. But he does expect them to use their common sense while tucking into their festive dinner.
See, there's one Christmas house event or house party that I want to go for tomorrow. See, I'm going to lick a lot of oranges today so that there'll be space. So I will not be defeated. And it's Christmas. That's what you do. You enjoy with friends and family, and sometimes the enjoyment is food. So I think, first of all, I think it's ridiculous that Pep Guardiola is going to weigh his players, and then he now said it in the press conference.
I mean,
So almost as if you see a full table and you see a tray of chicken, just keep walking on by. You know,
walk by very
but
fast too.
walk by very fast. But Shondaisha said, you know what? I'm not going to be a Christmas Grinch. Everybody eats, but eat with sense, and I think that's just the best way to do it. Because think about it, Nottingham Forest is going to play over the. I mean, they're playing a tough match. they're playing a tough match, and then they are playing immediately after Christmas. So ideally, the players should use their brain. Don't go and do too much so that when you're running, we will not be seeing all the rice and chicken that you ate the day before. But I think it's ridiculous that you say everybody will climb scale. If you are overweight, you won't play. I'm waiting to see what if not up to 11 players are overweight, so he will not pick a team. He will walk over the match. Is
Probably
that
to
what
make a
Pep
point.
Guardiola is saying? Should travel, I bet.
I'm not trying. I'm not trying to imagine the process. Would they like all line up? Oh, yeah, climb scale. Yeah, go. Yeah, climb scale. Yeah, go.
I think they'll put the scale at the door as you are walking in.
Oh, goodness
You step on the
gracious.
scale, somebody will read it.
Oh, Lord. Anyways, talking about Manchester City, let's talk about Antoine Semenyo, who is who is set to make a final decision on his future with Man City in advanced talks over a January move for the Bournemouth forward.
So Bournemouth put I think it's a ridiculous clause that if I think he has a 65 million release
65
clause.
million. Yes, 65 million. Yeah.
65 million clause. Yes, but only if you trigger it before January 10th. Why didn't you do it only if you trigger it before June? Do you understand where your team
Mm,
would have finished the end? Why did you do January 10th?
I can't even imagine who
And so,
thought of that.
yeah, they are now about to lose a player, a key player in a really weird season in January. So there was talks that Chelsea inquired about him, and then they gave up their bid, which is why Manchester City is front runner. But Liverpool are also talking to him, especially with the injury problems that they have.
Hmm.
So Liverpool are also looking at Semenyo. But ultimately, you know it now. If Manchester City comes calling with money, Bournemouth will take the money. 65
Very,
million is a lot of money.
it is. But then it calls into question, will they be able to replace a player of Semenyo's quality, at least for them this season? Hey,
Yeah, but
we don't
a
know.
team like Bournemouth does not have the pressures of teams like Liverpool and Manchester City, who you expect to go out there and be winning trophies. A team like Bournemouth is supposed to just survive and stay the next season. So the expectations are different, is my point. So if Manchester City were losing an important player in January, they'd be under a different kind of pressure to replace with somebody better. But Bournemouth, not necessarily so. Expectations are very different.
Hmm. All right, let us take your messages. Okay, a number of thoughts here. Let's begin with Felix from Minden, Maryland. He says, good morning, Mr. Ayokunmi and Madam Tega Supreme. Compliments of the season. We wish you the same, Felix. He says the Nigerian match yesterday was very interesting. I hope they go far in the tournament. And Felix, this
Amen,
issue,
oh.
yeah,
Amen,
Felix.
oh.
This is AY from Miniru says Senegal the para 3-0 just like that, sweeping away Botswana like Candy Crush. Nicholas Jackson on fire. Well, let's see if the fire will still catch in the next game. Ayo Infestac says one of the reasons, aside from weather, that I don't support a summer AFCON is that it would attract the eyeballs it needs instead of competing with Euros or Copa America. Who cared about Arsenal Crystal Palace? Arsenal fans did, I'm sure. Big E from K2 says Arsenal game.
Even Arsenal fans on the estate, yeah. So even Arsenal in my neighborhood, even Arsenal fans did not remember. Yes.
That's
So
deep.
let them compete with Europe. I hate this fact that we are now adjusting ourselves to fit Europe in. Let Europe think
Mm,
about itself, which is what it does anyway. Let us think
right.
about ourselves too.
Right. Biggie from K2 says Arsenal's game was watched with a BP monitor and some drugs to suppress the pressure. Better calm down, Biggie. Even with Nigeria's match, Martinelli was on fire, giving heat and pressure on that left. I'm glad we're playing against Chelsea to finish where we stopped from 10 men FC. Uh, where we stopped from 10 men FC, we drew Arsenal. Before then, Kai Havertz and Big Gabby will be back. All right. Gilbert Musa says, okay, he's in first. Like he says, congrats to the Super Eagles on their victory yesterday. Moving forward, the defense needs to be strengthened. It reminds me of how Clement Westhoff had to include Chidi Nwanu to help Uche Okechukwu in USA 94 as
Mm,
against a less safe defense in the tournament.
yeah.
Okay, This is from Mohammed,
But we
who
also
says,
have to remember that a few key things happened to the Nigerian defense. Trustekong retired, and then Benjamin Fredericks picked up an injury. And then Ola Aino also is out. So forgive the Nigerian defense.
mm, correct. Mohammed says, Tega, how about cancel culture is unjustified? What has Greenwood issues off the bench got to do with his performance on the pitch of play? And it only affects men mostly. See what that criminal woman did to Man City's Mendy and how he lost everything he worked for because of false accusations. And that wicked woman never got punishment for what she did. And there's a very interesting comment here. He knows that I won't read his message because of feminist pressure. I don't know why. Like I said, Mohammed, I won't read your message if it's not relevant to our conversation. So just
He
understand
says
that
because
one.
of feminist pressure.
I don't know which feminist pressure, but hey, it's unfortunate that Greenwood was cancelled. We didn't justify it. It just is what it is. Man United didn't take him back. Definitely not getting into England. So that's on us. Anyways, let me go to YouTube and take the comments here. Wow, they've lined up. Padre Pio says, Nigeria won. Oh, that's good. Not too impressed, though, because they conceded. My biggest flex was watching Salah score. I celebrated his goal like I'm a pharaoh, and it was the winning
Me
goal.
too. Me
Uh,
too.
you guys will submit your passports. What's that? Submit your passports.
I was like,
Uh,
take that, Jamie. Take that. There
Ayafedada
are two things
says,
I do. I support Super Eagles and I support African players. Everybody
oh,
else.
okay. Ayafedada says, Ademola Lookman's goal was a huge banger. It was indeed a wonderful goal. And this is from Chukudi Semene, who says, Christmas bonus and hamper for Lacroix. Meanwhile, Semenyo chooses Man City over Man United. Well, and the conductor will shout and demonstrate pass. They collect passengers first. I mean, that is
You
true.
know, you know.
Ernest Okenwa says, how teams play against Arsenal are first mount the wall of Jericho and wall of China first half, then put pressure in the 30 minutes of the second to shake their defense. I'm glad they are facing the world, Sha. Emeka says, so Nwabali was suspect in that Tanzania equalizer. He's
Go.
all we
Yeah.
have, but I still prefer him to Calamity Uzoho. If Semenyo was at AFCON with Ghana if Semenyo was at AFCON with Ghana, would City have still gone for him this January? Well, I don't know. And I think for that equalizer, for me, the defense, I don't know what exactly they were doing. See all the space that attacker had. He could have built an estate in that space he had to score that goal.
Like I said, you have to forgive even teams, even clubs that have extra players. If you lose three key men in one window, you will struggle now. People should
Mm.
extend some grace to the Super Eagles.
And final message, this is from Olumayiwa Shadari, who says, San Antonio now have OKC's number. They thrashed them this morning.
I'm
So,
telling you, come and see me yesterday. Come and see me
mm,
yesterday. They beat OKC for good measure. They're like, we beat you in the NBA Cup. We're going to beat you in the NBA, just so you know that it was not a fluke. That was a good
exactly.
game. That was a very good game. All right. On that note, I want to thank you all for sending me your messages via WhatsApp. Thank you for streaming on YouTube, and thank you for tuning into Smooth 98.1 FM to listen to the locker room. Till I come your way again on Friday. And on Friday, there's a big match. Manchester United is playing Newcastle.
Oh, it's on Friday. I didn't even know it was
It's
on
on
Friday.
Friday. Yes, it's on Friday. So there's that one. Then on Sunday there's an even bigger match: Cote d'Ivoire versus Cameroon.
Mm,
Ah,
mm. It's going to be
so
loud.
we'll be talking. It's going to be loud. We'll be talking about all of that and more when we come your way in the locker room on Friday. Till then, have a fantastic Christmas celebration.
All right, Tega, have a fantastic Christmas celebration. Merry Christmas to you and to yours. And thank you all for being a part of the show this morning. The locker room will make its return on Friday at 8:15 here on the Smooth Breakfast on Smooth 98.1. My name is Ayokunmi. Do stay.